he could heave from close to the logo. That's a normal shot for him.
Yeah, it's to me, what you need to do first is better ball pressure, and that will make him a little uncomfortable. Even before you see a pick coming, no matter where you think the pick's coming from, on the ball defense it has to be the priority against Ashworth.
You were speaking very highly of the man at the free throw line pregame right now, Jason Green. Tell me why.
Yeah, I just think he's one of those. They used to call him Swiss Army knives. He does a little bit of everything. He's probably not perfect at any of them, but he's great at so many things. Catch and shoot. He works his tail off. Offensive rebounds. He'll post up. He's just one of those guys you don't have to run anything for, and you can leave him on the floor.
Wiltshire resolve. I mean, Io was able to get it back, and he cannot hit either.
Tell you what, Kalkbrenner, if he's not changing it, he's speeding guys up to try to quick jump. And they've missed a couple like that. Ejiofor missed his first left-handed jump hook. And I think that's the Kalkbrenner effect.
St. John's just 1 of 8. Neal short, Green sticks it back, and there's the little thing.
I love him. I think this kid, every coach would love a player like Jason Green because of what you saw right there. By the way, that's his, officially, I'm not sure they're going to give him 2 offensive rebounds, but that was the second time he went and grabbed one around a bunch of white jerseys.
Richmond from the elbow connects.
So comfortable. Comes off that curl.
And now a turnover off the make. Aaron Scott coming off his best performance as a member of the Red Storm was short.
I would have loved to see Aaron Scott turn the corner and get downhill there.
Another turnover.
Numbers.
Aaron Scott. Catch.
What makes that play is Kadari Richmond and his pace, waiting for his guys to run their lanes, to get into their spots, see how the few defenders that were back respond. No one closes out, knockdown.
5 threes for Scott at Villanova earlier this week, 22 points, a season best. 10 on the shot clock. Ashwood with the backdoor to Neal. Neal was able to stick it home.
How about the pass and the cut from Neal? He didn't stand in the corner. He cut. Ashworth found him. What a great finish. You got to finish like that against the Johnnies. They will make you pay if you go up soft.
By the way, Davon Smith is back for St. John's today. He's waiting at the scores table. And a neck injury on Wednesday night kept him out against Nova. Richmond hits.
Tell you what, Coach Patino said after that 37 attempt game they had from 3, he wants to see that more. That is such a wonderful just perspective to have when you know you're not a great three-point shooting team, under 30%, but when guys make it, you gotta enforce that positive mindset.
A big ovation for Davon Smith, a top 4 scorer for the Red Storm, but does so much more than that with the 5 triple-doubles a year ago. What does he add with having him back today?
Well, he's the team's best defensive rebounder, and he's going to pick the pace of this game up. Wow.
Isaac Trout. Now, Greg McDermott told us pregame, if Isaac Trout can knock down shots, we become a great team.
I told Coach McDermott, just from experience, my experience as a player in college, in the NBA, this building, when you're not shooting great, you come here, for some reason you can knock down shots. It's just what the Garden is all about.
Both teams have made their last 3, and things are starting to pick up in this battle for first place in the Big East. The winner will be atop the standings. Ashwood stopped. It's to Trout with 9. Trout kicks, Jamiah Neal. Short.
How about that? Isaac Trout is, I don't know, 6'8", 6'9", and passes the ball out with a smaller guy on him. That's when you need him to get that little bunny.
Ejiofor has 2 triples. He has hit 4 of his 5 threes in conference play against Creighton. What are the chances? Ashworth can't answer, and now this building, they're gearing up here after a slow start by the Red Storm. Here's Lewis. Ejiofor battling for the offensive rebound.
And that was 1 3 by Ashworth that it's good if it goes, but if not, you want to slow down just a little bit.
Ejiofor with a heat check look.
And here's another player in the game, in Zugic, that can knock him down. You got to be aware of where he is if you're St. John's. You don't want a guy like that to get it going, but they put so much pressure on you from behind the arc, Creighton.
Ashworth was tripped up and a foul. We've got a timeout. Sometimes in these battles, these heavyweight clashes, some unexpected things occur.
And Zuby does so much for this team. Now you add into the fold that he can knock down threes. Woo! The bad boy right there.
Shot to get dirty. Get dirty. Shot to get dirty.
Right now, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2024 all-electric Jeep Wagoneer S Launch Edition for $468 a month.
At Harbor Freight, we do business differently from the other guys. We design and test our own tools and sell them directly to you. No middleman. No folks in suits telling us to raise prices for the heck of it. Just quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love. Every aisle, every day. That's how we like to do business anyway. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
From oh, baby, to oh, baby. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's, right? And you can't beat the Angel. Waiting for.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
You know what's brilliant? Boring. Think about it.
Boring makes vacations happen.
Early retirement's possible.
And startups start up.
That's why PNC Bank strives to be boring with your money. The pragmatic, calculated kind of boring.
It's Fox College Hoops Friday, and Big Ten rivals collide in a push for the top spot in the conference. As Michigan State, big time, battles Michigan. Fox College Hoops Friday tips off at 8 Eastern.
Yesterday, the NCAA Selection Committee revealed the top 16, and how about the fact that 5 of the top 6 teams come from the Southeastern Conference? The note, though, St. John's, the last team in that top 16 revealed at 16th overall. 84% of the teams that have been included in this initial reveal have ended up as a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I think we knew what the SEC was all about even before the season started, so that tracks. The fact that St. John's has their name on that list, look, I know coaches are going to say it means nothing right now, but I disagree. I think anytime they are talking about your team, it gives your team confidence. It gives your fans something to be motivated by, and it also puts the rest of the country and the conference in the Big East on notice. and if you have been under a rock somewhere and haven't seen St. John's, just know they are the real deal. And if that list doesn't tell you, continue to watch right now.
Creighton having trouble getting it in. The Blue Jays, by the way, they're in a good place as well.
Right.
Mike DeCourcias, and it's a 7 seed, and Fedor Zugic, the freshman from Montenegro.
I'm not sure if anyone understood where that came from. Zugic is known as a really good shooter, but
Richmond from
well, that's what Smith does. He allows Kadari Richmond to play off the ball, to be able to use that size and to take a break and not have to run the offense every time down. It also adds a lot of pressure to a guy like Ashworth.
Another turnover, the third by the Jays. Richmond to Ejiofor. He was quiet against Villanova. He's not quiet thus far today. Couldn't hit the bunny. It will stay with the Johnnies.
So this is how when Smith and Richmond are on the floor together, they are dangerous. Obviously, take a look at Kadari Richmond on the wing here. Sets you up. Now the help comes from Neal, just over helps, and Smith is just too good. His vision is too good. He's just too savvy to not see Richmond cutting. Really nice job, 1-2 punch there.
Fire and ice stylistically. Lewis knew he missed it. And we got a foul on Creighton on the box out. It's on Neal.
And that's what 6'6" does for Kadari Richmond. That little extra effort play. You'll see him coming out of the left side of your screen and does get a little push there. But look, I don't think you would have seen Kadari Richmond making that move 2 years ago, even when he was at Syracuse. That's how he's matured and really what Coach Pitino and his staff have pulled out of him.
This battle on the glass, Donnie's fascinating. Creighton is 4th in the country in defensive rebounds. St. John's is 7th in offensive rebounds. That looked a lot like R.J. Lewis's game sealer at UConn. And now the pressure. They combat it and break through.
Well, St. John's knows there's really one facilitator, one head of the snake for Creighton, and that is Ashworth. So if you can pressure, get the ball out of his hand and pressure other people, you're in a good way. But this, out of bounds under, pretty simple. It's all set up really by the hard cut, and this was against UConn. Same play, other side. He just does a nice job. Look at Liam McNeely's head is spinning right there. Didn't know where he lost Lewis, but that's from a lot of reps and understanding your numbers called. You better find a way to get open, and Lewis does that.
What a moment that was for this Red Storm team. Trout, he's off. St. John's was down 14-4 in the early moments. Davon Smith. Long, look at that battle between Kalkbrenner and Ejiofor.
Yeah, really nice job just getting your body in the way of Ejiofor. He's so active. That's a tough matchup for Kalkbrenner.
Ashworth out of control, and here comes Lewis with a head of steam. R.J. Lewis attacking. Ejiofor's there. He's fouled.
And St. John's just, they keep coming at you. They get downhill, 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 and then the next guy's running. I thought R.J. Lewis, when he drew two, he probably could have kicked that maybe to the corner, found a teammate. That's a very, very difficult play, but Zuby Ejiofor bails him out, the offensive rebound.
Donnie, today about response for both these teams, because something happened. It hasn't happened much in this conference season. They're both coming off a defeat, and perhaps nobody has that today more than Zuby Ejiofor, because he didn't look like himself in Wednesday's loss to Villanova. Just 2 points in that game.
Yeah, I think anytime you're big and you have to play against someone like Eric Dixon, even Ryan Kalkbrenner, it's a lot. It takes it out of you. You know, they're big, strong guys, especially Dixon can play out, plays in, and you see Kalkbrenner turning into that as well, playing outside, playing inside, but
Green got loose and slammed it home. Creighton's already at 5 dunks in this game.
I love watching Jason Green. The game he just keeps it simple. Runs the floor, makes himself available.
Ruben Cray. Freshman is short. Kalkbrenner for rounds. Ashworth. It was too long of a pass to Kalkbrenner. He was trying to connect with him. Up ahead to Ejiofor, out of his reach.
The problem with that pass from Ashworth is that it has to be more of a direct pass and not a floater. You're just too close, 5 feet apart. This, on the other hand, is just a wonderful look ahead, throw it over the top. Jason Green does the rest, but I love that about Stephen Ashworth. Even Davon Smith, they throw the ball ahead. You know, they're confident point guards. They allow their guys to get out and do the work, throw it up where they can catch it. I just thought that Ashworth pass was just too much air under it. It had to be more of a direct pass when you're that close to a guy.
That pressure does not waver, Donnie.
So So now Davis is going to have to deal with some of that pressure. Ashworth out of the game. This is a huge point in the game.
And he commits an offensive foul.
It's an issue that Creighton is going to have to learn to play through. Ashworth, as much as you'd like him to play 40 minutes a game, it's just not realistic. And you saw the little chicken wing, the push-off there. I thought Ashworth against UConn was a little worn out. Their schedule up to that point was a grueling one, just like a lot of teams go through. But when you play as many minutes as a guy like Ashworth, it catches up to you, especially this time of year.
Big spot for the freshman Ty Davis. R.J. Lewis on top of the key triple.
Tell you what, R.J. Lewis, he is making himself a lot of money as we see him playing. NBA scouts love him.
Neal attacking. That's what Jemiah Neal can do.
Nice job playing through it. Probably thought he got grabbed. Sometimes players will throw their arms in the air looking for the foul. That was good focus there by Neal.
Smith with a little stop-and-go action from the free throw line. Got the friendly bounce.
Just so active, so wild, so like, he's just one of those guys that he's got bounce. Just a wily type of player.
Dealing with an injury, but showed up to practice yesterday. Surprised the entire St. John staff. They said he's good to go. They thought they'd be without him for a few weeks. 8 on the shot clock. It's Neal with 5. Neal with 3. With 2, he has to heat. It's an air ball. Shot clock violation. That's the nation's #2 defense.
They're a little out of sorts without Ashworth, and you know what? St. John's taking advantage of it. The stop behind for R.J. Lewis, and then Jemiah Neal wanted the and one. We got a good one, folks. 1-point game at the Mecca.
Guys, still working, eh? Take tomorrow off. Keys.
Inside every dog is a struggle between good.
That food frisbee the neighbors ordered looks really good.
And fun.
Forget that. Let's sink our teeth into the fun that's walking this way.
Fun? We can't always have fun.
Not with that attitude.
Wait.
But there doesn't have to be.
Is that
good and fun?
So good.
Fun, fun, fun.
Let your dog indulge both sides with the delicious, long-lasting chew sessions of good and fun treats for dogs. Let dogs dog.
Introducing Domino's Best Deal Ever. Get any pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 online. Your favorite pizza at our best price. Any pizza with any toppings for $9.99. It's Domino's Best Deal Ever. But it's not forever, so get it before it's gone. Only at Domino's.
I'm thinking of buying a house.
A house? By yourself? Are you sure? I don't know anyone that owns a house. It's a big commitment. Hey, if you can make it work.
I got this.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean starts with Oral-B.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
You ready for Cooper Flag at the world's most famous arena, Donnie Marshall? Because Saturday on Fox Primetime Hoops, it's Flag. One of the favorites for National Player of the Year. He leads third-ranked Duke in a showdown against Illinois. Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox. And Kasparek, Kachonis on the other side.
Oh, some pretty good young people in this college basketball this year, but this is a Creighton team that shares the basketball. They really do a nice job. At times, the problem is when Stephen Ashworth is not handling the ball, it doesn't flow, it doesn't move as well. 2 possessions, he was out. 2 turnovers. for Creighton, and that's why you see him right back in the game. But I mean, look at that, 6.5 points, 6.5 assists in a season. That is, look at those names. Sherman Douglas, Pearl Washington, Billy Donovan on there. And at the bottom, Stephen Ashworth. Wow. Good company there, needless to say.
And congratulations to Billy D,
right,
because he went into the rafters. His number retired by Providence College last night.
So good.
To be in that company.
You don't appreciate it when you're in it, but he will one day.
Play was designed for Iwuchukwu, who just checked in, and Rick Pitino not a fan of how it ended up going down. A turnover by the Red Storm. R.J. Lewis forces the 7th Creighton giveaway. Iwuchukwu took the dump and scored it.
Iwuchukwu has turned out to be a really, really nice piece. His athleticism when Ejiofor goes to the bench. He's a terrific complementary big, and they're big right now. You think about with Prey, Iwuchukwu, and Lewis 6'7", Richmond, 6'6". This is some size for Creighton.
Well, and think about that note. 10 of 11 of the field goals have been assisted on. Only 2 turnovers. Creighton had 7. And we've got a tie up here. The possession arrow's with them, so they'll keep it with Donnie. This is becoming a real dilemma with still about 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, Creighton just needs to just take a deep breath, slow down a little bit, and get your guys to their spots. Just slow down a click. This is what this press is designed to do. It's designed to speed you up, but just get away from each other.
McAndrew from the corner cannot hit, and we get a foul on Iwuchukwu. It's the 5th on the Red Storm.
Jason Green to the ground, and I understand it. Jason Green's everywhere. When that ball goes up, you know he's going to be on the glass.
That's going to bring Ejiofor back into this game, because Pitino doesn't want to see any more trouble in the foul department. Aaron Scott sidelined with 2. You think about it, Donnie, in the first meeting, right down to the wire, Creighton committed 19 turnovers. The difference, that was in Omaha. Greg McDermott said St. John's is different in this building.
Yeah, they really are. They have a different confidence about them, and really a different kind of pride when they play in this building.
17 straight home wins dating back to last year. Longest streak in the country. Shot clock at 5 for Ashwood. He was stripped. It will stay with Creighton with 3.
Really nice job by Wiltshire to move those feet. Got beaten off the dribble, but the next guy up, and I think Wiltshire might have poked that ball away from behind.
3 on the shot clock. Green the inbounder. They go to Kalkbrenner.
Nice D there by Ejiofor. Face guarding Kalkbrenner.
Richmond with a beautiful time to Prey, and Kalkbrenner shut it down. That's the 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. Neal. Long. Creighton in a bit of a drought.
Jason Green again, keeping that alive, John.
Ashworth, and the foul will go on the line for 4.
And this is how you want to attack it. You got to attack it with body first. That's a hard one because you're trying to get to that rim quick. Ryan Kalkbrenner doing what he does best, and then Stephen Ashworth. Too much space. He's just too crafty. Got a cute game around that perimeter area. You saw a shot fake earlier. That time he didn't pass it up.
And he is 94 of 97. 94 of 97.
He's only missed 2 in Big East play.
From the line this year, make it 95 of 98 on the year. Wow. And just like that, Donnie, Creighton leads. Here's Kadari Richmond shifting his game into a different gear. Short. It's off clock. Now you talk about Defensive Player of the Year candidates nationally. And Ryan Kalkbrenner on the Naismith watch list. He's having another stellar season. He gets off the bus and he's got 3 blocks. Now a turnover by the Red Storm, their third. Neal gliding in, Jemiah Neal, their 6th dunk.
Tell you what, Creighton has shown everyone in this building that they are not afraid. Think about it, this is a team who lost their 3rd leading scorer, or their 3rd big-time scorer in Pop Isaacs, and they have figured out how to live life without him. They'd love to have him, but guys have really stepped up. Talk about stepping up. Davon Smith, you see him every game, even when he doesn't play, he's out here working on that jump shot. Beautiful mid-range jumper.
Neal is fouled by Wilcher, and that will put Creighton in the bonus.
Yeah, we talk about Creighton's offense and how they shoot threes. Well, today how they dunk the ball, but it's all set up by their defense. They are a much better defensive team than I think they get credit for. And I think the Blue Jays, those Doug McDermotts and those Ethan Rogges and those type of guys, if you remember the Mitch Bellocks, he's an assistant, those type of guys making all those threes in their career has really created a monster in terms of, you think of Creighton, they're a 3-point shooting team, but this team is holding their opponents to 30% from 3 and 40 from the field. I mean, that's pretty good for a 3-point shooting team, I guess.
It is. It is. Jemiah Neal, 61% free throw shooter, hits both here. To your point on being fearless, this Creighton team has won 5 straight Big East road games. First time they've ever done that.
And the adjustment that you make when you lose a big-time player, obviously they're trending the right way. They found something. Guys have kind of been catapulted into bigger roles. Trout, McAndrews, I mean, those type of guys. Davis, you saw him in there for a couple of stints. Even Jason Green. Greg McDermott has done a phenomenal job of trusting his players, but saying, hey, here's an opportunity. What are you going to do with it?
Wins over Kansas. Road win at UConn. Win over Marquette. Here's Smith. Attacking. Davon Smith is a player.
He really is. He changes the speed and the pace of not only how they play in the open court, the full court, but you saw there in the half court.
Ashworth comes around the horn. Stephen Ashworth, that's a pure teardrop.
Stephen Ashworth says, I got a little speed myself. Wow.
24-year-old seasoned vet. Don't call him an old man in college hoops. He's a dad, too.
Married dad. I mean, you talking about responsibility.
Smith is starting to sizzle. His return after missing earlier this week. He's got 8 points on 4 or 5. You can tell this is a battle for first.
Yeah, they're getting after it. Obviously, standing guys up, no one backing down.
Shot clock at 7. It's down to 5 from Ashworth. Down to 2. Neal has to heave. Just got it off. In and out. Edge of 4. Trout with the board.
That wing 3 is a little different than the top of the key 3. Just a little.
Edge of 4, though, gets back defensively. 8th Creighton turnover. Smith glides. And we got a foul. It's on the floor, but Davon Smith has returned and returned emphatically.
The leadership, his pace. Look at this. You called it, John. He is a blur. That mid-range game, elbow jumper. Woo! College hoops on FS1. Boy.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. Get 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of select new 2025 Sportage and 2025 Sorrento models.
Beef that's slow roasted. Fish that is slow too. Slower than the boat anyway. Arby's, we have the meats.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Liberty. It's pronounced Bibberty.
Liberty.
Bibberty.
Liberty.
Nice try, kid. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Liberty.
Hey, get off your... Show off. Mountain Dew.
With Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk, you'll want to savor every moment. With 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and of course, it's delicious. Fairlife.
Coming up on the Jeep Halftime Report, a pair of Big Ten matchups as number 20 Michigan battles rival Ohio State. Nebraska looks to stay on the right side of the tournament bubble at Northwestern. Plus, number 14 Memphis takes on Wichita State. Back to the finely dressed duo of John and Donnie. Love the sweater vest, Donnie.
V-neck drill, V-neck sweater, not a vest, man. He should know better than that.
We look forward to that. How about the Red Storm defense, one of the best in the country?
Look, they have their hands full today. You know, they're going to be disruptive, but more of that full court pressure, the deflections, those things start to wear teams down, and you saw that when the ball's not in Stephen Ashworth's hands. They are on the attack. With Davon Smith in, when Ashworth has the ball, that is the X factor. How do you speed him up and just kind of get him uncomfortable? And I think that's why we haven't seen Davon Smith come off the floor.
Anytime that we're talking about defense, and you're just shy of the company of Rick Barnes in Tennessee nationally, pretty much says it all.
Yeah.
Take a look at the difference there. Points off turnovers. St. John's with 10 and the Red Storm with the basketball.
St. John's, this team, Coach Pitino and his staff have done a really nice job of balancing being that defensive-minded team, but then adding beautiful offense at times in there with that.
Called a pass from Richmond to Ejiofor.
I mean, they present a lot of problems for you, and I agree with Coach Pitino. You have to make threes to go deep in the NCAA tournament. And if this team can find that touch and click, they don't have to make 10 or 15 a game, but if they can make enough to scare some teams, boy, sky's the limit.
Kalkbrenner backing his way in. That was altered. Richmond and Smith got in with Ejiofor, and here come the Johnnies. Smith, that's well defended by Stephen Ashworth. Look, we talk about St. John's defense. Creighton's 27th in the country in defensive efficiency. Off the stop, a fading pass to Kalkbrenner. We've got a foul. It's on Kalkbrenner. That's a rarity.
Speaking of Kalkbrenner, this is where I think St. John's really has an advantage. If he's a back-down player, Zuby Ejiofor can guard that, and then the help can come. Your defense can set on the opposite side. When he's in that pick and roll, it puts too much pressure on the backside and the big who's involved in that. So I think when he backs you down, I think St. John's, the advantage goes to them.
Creighton at 6 fouls. They only average 10 a game, best in the country. As Lewis is fouled, so make it a 7, Donnie. That is not typical for the Blue Jays to get whistled.
It's just what St. John's does, though. Their athleticism, their ability to just get to wherever they want to. 10.5 fouls per game, and you see it. Fewest in Division I, and that's just, listen, when you have a guy like Ryan Kalkbrenner back there who disrupts, who changes, who makes you think, who speeds you up when you get to the rim, it helps. And Coach McDermott will tell you that. It helps having him back there, but look, guys still have to guard on the perimeter without fouling. And I think, again, they're being challenged today by a very athletic St. John's team on that perimeter.
As Lewis knocks down the first. R.J. Lewis last week named Naismith Trophy NCAA National Player of the Week.
The problem with the fouls for Creighton is, you know, they don't turn teams over. So, you know, if they're turning it over and fouling, it's hard for them to kind of get it back.
Oh, that's how you break a press if Neal can get to it. He did, and hits.
Wow. That's a tough one there. Coach Patino's talking to his staff like, how'd that happen?
Ibn Ayo. Smith with the offensive board. Smith. Short. Ashworth probing, and that's foul Smith. And it'll send the best free throw shooter in the country to the line.
Like everything, you're trying to keep guys in front of you, but here's how you break a press. Again, look who has the ball. 0 out of bounds is Jason Green, but this has to be a conversation. It can't be one guy pointing. That guy has to be running to that player. You don't really have, and I think that was Zubi Ejiofor in that case. You don't really have a man when you're pressuring full court. You have an area, and if that guy shoots long, your area is to go back and protect your rim.
Ashworth missed a free throw. Just his 4th miss of the entire season. Ibn Ayo. Air ball. Ejiofor gives it right back to him. Zubi Ejiofor banks it in.
Oh, Tim Duncan-esque.
It was.
Off the backboard.
Good ball. 10 for Ejiofor. 11-second difference between shot and game. Neal hits.
He's really stepped into a nice role for Creighton. I thought earlier with Pop Isaacs, he didn't really know. He was searching Jemiah Neal what his role was on this team. Well, tell you what, last 8-10 games, he has really found it, and he's a huge piece of the success that they've had.
A timeout. We'll see what Rick Pitino comes up with 18.9, and it gives us a chance to tell you that Fox Sports is proud to present a new postseason tournament, the College Basketball Crown. 16 teams from the top conferences put it all on the line for a new kind of madness. Coming this March, live from Las Vegas, only on Fox. And buy tickets now in the Vivid Seats app or at vividseats.com. Here's how our bracket forecaster Mike DeCourcy sees things in the Big East with 4 projected teams in the tournament. Villanova and Xavier will be heading to the Crown if the season ended right now.
And I think, to me, the Crown is so important for your brand. To be teams that are playing late means that's less teams. It means more eyes on your teams playing. I always was taught if you can get to the Sweet 16, you get to the Elite 8, you can be one of those last teams playing. Not only do your fans get to see you and more eyes around the country, but also scouts.
Yes.
And for the players, you're extending your season to be able to help your stock. And it helps the brand of the coaches as well. I love it. I love it.
Well said. Where do you go?
You see it. Where it is where you go.
The kid for Brooklyn, Richmond with 3. Lefty Leontopoulos. It spins out. Ejiofor stuffed by Kalkbrenner. And we've got a 1-point game in this showdown for first at the half.
Yeah, that was a wonderful battle. High-scoring event. just what we expected it to be.
St. John's 40, Creighton 39. You can see the sweat of Kalkbrenner and Neal putting in the work. Right after this, we'll send you to Mike Hill and LaFonso Ellis for the Jeep Halftime Report. You're watching College Hoops on FS1.
USAA for the military community and their families.
Cut. Sam, I really need to feel that USAA service. Gronkier.
Grunkier. USAA. You could be eligible if your spouse, parents, or even your grandparents served.
That was it. You're in.
As a veteran, I'm already in. You? I wouldn't get your hopes up, son. USAA. Are you eligible?
Got one more, Antoine.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Cool.
Right on time.
Stay in the know from your dock to their door.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
So why can't we say we're the best home shopping site? Because while true, you just can't say that legally. So I can't say, homes.com is the best. No.
What if we jumbled up the words?
Homes best is com.the. No. What if we said it in Spanish?
Homes.com es el mejor.
No.
What if we whispered it?
Homes.com is the best. No. Fine. What if he said it?
Homes.com. It's the best.
Mr. Freeman, I'm sorry, but we can't say that.
Say what?
Homes.com is the best.
Aha.
Homes.com.
It's the best.
Everybody, we've got one for you. Electricity in the building.
The Big East tournament is always must-see TV. There is no place like Madison Square Garden.
The Big East is a tough, brilliant place to play.
Well, Gus, Friday night at the Garden. There's nothing quite like this atmosphere.
This is Big East basketball at its best.
It's all on the line.
Introducing Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Mando's different. It's tough enough to control body odor in all your toughest smelling places. How does Mando work? Rather than covering up odor with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor before it starts. Our formula is powered by an acidified technology and pH optimized. It works by blocking bacteria from digesting fluids on your skin like sweat anywhere on your body. Order Mando Whole Body Deodorant today and control your body odor better everywhere.
For the best deals, go to shopmando.com.
If you're an executive this shirt, it's a must-have in your closet.
I was tired of floppy colors and shirts that accumulated bad sweat stains. So I got this shirt I saw on TV and I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. I got it shipped in no time and I switched from regular polos to this immediately. These shirts are brilliant. The brand is called Colors & Co. They make a regular stretchy golf shirt, but the top has a firm color on it. I got rid of so many problems by upgrading to this. No dry cleaning needed anymore, and I'm free from uncomfortable long sleeves, and the colors stay stiff all day. Get 20% off using code TV at colorsandco.com.
Welcome to the Halftime Report, sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Oh, yeah, we got a good one going on at the Garden. The two best teams in the Big East matching up head-to-head. Kadari Richmond, cut that door. Getting in there. St. John's up by 1 over Creighton, 40-39 at the half. That's a good game. That's a good man right here. That's LaFonso Ellis and Mike Hill hanging out with you. St. John's trailed this game early by as many as 10 points, but they got back into it because of their defense, which they're known for, and three-point shooting, which they ain't quite known for. Highlight sponsored by Jeep. There's only one.
This is a St. John's team, Mike, that shoots 24% from three. That's the worst in the Big East. But there's something magical about playing in Madison Square Garden where it brings out the best in you. They were shooting that thing early and often and shooting it with a high level of confidence. And that's really what's contributed to their being up in this game. 5 of 13 from three. 15 of their 40 points have come from the three-point line. But their defense has been equally as good, forcing this Creighton team into 9 turnovers in this game, which they scored 14 points off of the three ball, the defense. Excellent first half for St. John's.
A reason they got back into it is meanwhile, Creighton got off to that hot start. Ryan Kalkbrenner, a slow start for him, shooting the basketball. But Jemiah Neal and, of course, Stephen Ashworth really picking up the slack for them.
Stephen Ashworth, he's the head of the snake on this team, Mike. His ability to be able to orchestrate all that's going on out there offensively. He's got 9 points in this game, 6 assists. He scored and assisted on over half of their points. He's been magnificent. Got to take care of the basketball in the second half, though.
Yeah, all of Creighton has to take care of the basketball against this St. John's defense. We got highlights coming up next, including number 20 Michigan going for a 6th straight win. But they had to go through rival Ohio State and Columbus to get there. Highlights coming up.
In this game, only the persistent can conquer the crown. Each year is a new opportunity and another shot to make your mark. Cash! Fueled by determination, powered by dreams. Every step, every pass, every drive propels you closer to victory. It's amazing. It's full throttle to the finish line. Oh my goodness. The road to victory starts now. Sponsored by Jeep, proud partner of the Big East Conference. Jeep, there's only one.
Is juicy chicken your thing? Is spicy hot honey your thing? Introducing new KFC Mike's Hot Honey Chicken. If that's your thing. Just $7 or share it for $25.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the game is actually over before you storm the court. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
When emergency strikes, first responders are the first ones in. But on outdated networks, the crucial technology they depend on is limited. That's why T-Mobile created T-Priority, the only solution built for the 5G era that can dynamically dedicate up to 10 times the capacity for first responders. T-Priority, built for tomorrow's emergencies. Ready today.
At Denny's, the everyday value slam is better than ever. Starting at $6.99, choose from our new brioche French toast, a stack of pancakes, or biscuits and gravy to make every day extraordinary. The everyday value slam now with brioche French toast, only at Denny's.
Whoa, it's the Capital One Bank guy. That's me.
So, what do you do outside of the Capital One Cafe?
What do you mean? No fees on checking accounts and no overdraft fees help me sleep at night. What's in your wallet?
Don't worry. You can't predict sick days. But with Kleenex, you can be prepared for them. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Once upon our time, it's Shrek Night.
That was so fun!
The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday on Fox.
Businesses start small, but a lot of them take off. As your business grows, ShipStation grows with you, so you can sync and manage all your orders, no matter how big you get. ShipStation's custom automations maximize your team's time. Plus, you get more carrier options at the lowest possible rates. Keep your business growing. Head to ShipStation.com to start your free trial today.
Dad, I'm a genius. I figured out how to make us penguins fly.
That's going to be tricky without wings.
Exactly. That's why I've got Red Bull. It gives you wings. All we have to do is drink it.
And how?
Come on, Dad, just drink it. But why?
Why? It's 40 degrees below. Do you think we're standing here for fun?
Red Bull gives you wings. But only if you drink it.
Aww.
Mike Hill, Fonzo Ellis back with you. Number 20 Michigan, Ohio State, Vlad Golden.
When you play against,
break you.
When you play against Michigan, you got to deal with Area 51. Denny Wolf and Vlad Golden combined for 37 of the 86 points.
Bruce Thornton had that to tie it.
So close.
Oh, that close. Michigan holds on to win at 86-83. Nebraska, Northwestern, Nick Martinelli. Off glass. Wildcats up by 11 later in the first half. Ty Berry doing what he does.
Yeah, with no Brooks Barnheiser, Ty Berry's had to step his game up. 10 points a game, but he's got 13 in this one right now.
Northwestern up 15 at the half. Number 14, Memphis at Wichita State. 5 seconds left in regulation at 71. Kobe Rogers puts up the three off the mark. Time expires, go to overtime. Just over a minute in overtime. Wichita State down 2. John Cortez.
When you play against Memphis, you got to take care of the basketball. Only 8 turnovers today for Wichita State.
Shockers with the upset. Bradley Drake, check this out. DeMarion Birch is going to lay out.
Oh!
Yes, sir.
6'4" sophomore from Milwaukee with the left.
Well, cock it on him then. Woo. Cock it on him. Darius Hannah, less than 20 left. Throwing it down, 2 hands to be short. Bradley up 2 moments later. 10 seconds left, last chance for Drake. Daniel Abreu. No. Bradley holds on. 61 to 59. Ladies hoops. Top 10 battle, UConn, South Carolina. Not what you expect. All UConn. Paige Beckers finds AZ Fudge. She had 28 points. UConn up 15. They were blowing them out. They're up 24. Beckers. 12 and 10. UConn snapping South Carolina's home winning streak. A shocker. 71 games they had won in a row at home. Meanwhile, it ain't over at the Garden. Creighton, St. John's, Ashworth, and Neal. 1-point game, second half coming up.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And to handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
It all started with a small business idea.
It's a pillow with a speaker in it. That's right, Craig.
Pulling in the perfect team to get the job done.
I'm just here for the internet. AT&T, it's super fast.
You locked us out?
And when we were thrown a curveball, we had everything we needed.
It's internet out. Don't worry, we have AT&T internet backup.
The next level network for small business.
I sold a pillow.
You just can't beat a post-game burger at McDonald's. What are you waiting for?
At Harbor Freight, we design and test our own tools and sell them directly to you. No middleman, just quality tools you can trust at prices you'll love. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
Honey? But the gains are pumping.
Dad, is Mommy a finance bro?
She switched careers to make money for your weddings.
Ooh, the Asian market is blowing up. Hey, who wants shots, huh?
Shots?
Of milk.
The right money moves aren't as aggressive as you think.
A new postseason tournament has arrived. The College Basketball Crown. 16 teams from the top conferences coming this March, live from Las Vegas. The College Basketball Crown, March 31st on Fox and FS1. Buy your tickets today at vividseats.com or download the app.
You'll never make it to the top. How much higher must you go on like this? You're getting sick. It's not Mount Everest. It's just a set of stairs. Halls. Just breathe through it.
Right this second, at some diner somewhere,
I'll have a...
someone really wants a soda. But that same someone doesn't want to be like the only someone to order a soda. Embarrassing. Nah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, I know the struggle is real, honey, but so are all these other...
What if there were a better soda?
Hon, get a Poppy. It's a soda with 5 grams of sugar.
Okay. Okay, so this waitress is a genius.
Can I get one too?
One round down, another to go. Creighton got out on the run with Jason Green and company slamming it home in the first half. Zuby Ejiofor, he entered having only made 3 triples in Big East play. Now he's up to 5. 4 of those have come against Creighton. And you're trying to combat that tree inside that is Ryan Kalkbrenner. It takes us to our first half stats, sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. What do you have, Donnie?
Well, I think St. John's has done a nice job of continuing to attack, but attacking with their defense. That full court pressure, you got to figure out how to stop those long balls. I mean, that really broke their back. All the dunks. I don't think St. John's was ready for the attacking at the rim, but they have to continue to attack Ryan Kalkbrenner.
14-2 in points off turnovers for the Red Storm. The bright spot, Jemiah Neal for Creighton.
Over his last 5, John, he's averaging 13 a game. He's already at 12, so a wonderful bright spot. It takes pressure off of Stephen Ashworth, off of Ryan Kalkbrenner. Need more of that in the second half. And Zuby Ejiofor, you talk about your stock rising, not just in terms of the next level, but also the stock in your coach's mind. He's not a back-to-the-basket guy only. He can knock down jump shots. He's the inspiration for this team right now.
Balanced attacks on both sides. Think about this, as our stats showed, all but 6 of the made shots, and there were 31 of them, were assisted on.
Yeah, 20 points in the paint, too, for Creighton that's a lot. I mean, that's one of those things you have to talk about if you're St. John's at halftime. You got to stop the ball. You got to stay in front of guys, because there aren't a lot of those that come from number 11 in blue.
We barely saw Aaron Scott in the first half because he got into some early foul trouble.
You got to stay away from that. You got to play defense, like coaches say, with your feet, meaning move. Can't be reaching in.
Richmond pulls. He's short to start the second half.
Well, Stephen Ashworth catches the ball, looks right at the floor. I mean, he doesn't dribble at first. He looks up to see who's ahead and starts their set.
7th in the country in assists per game. Nick Andrew was off. We get a foul. It's on the Red Storm.
Take a look at Stephen Ashworth. Immediately catches the ball. After this, Jason Green's going to come down with this rebound. He kicks it to Stephen Ashworth. Oops, sorry, that was my bad, John. I need to just stick to commentating and not try to work the cameras. It's on me.
Jackson McAndrew is at the line.
I promise you, though, I will show you Stephen Ashworth.
You will?
And his eyes looking up the floor. I owe you one.
Please.
I owe you one.
You've already seen one thriller this weekend.
Yeah.
In Newark yesterday.
Look, this league, I mean, anytime you're in a power conference, this league this time of year, you got to throw the records, throw the numbers out the window, and watch the game in all its beauty.
Here's Wiltshire off the edge of 4 screen. With 10 on the shot clock, it's Lewis. Lewis elbow. Good.
That lift. I tell you, once he gets up into that jump, there's really nothing you can do about it. I mean, he's going to need help. McAndrew needs a little bit of help. As soon as Lewis gets up, he creates space. He leans back a little bit. Thing of beauty, that mid-range jumper.
3rd foul on Simeon Wiltshire, so he has to sit down. The good news for the Red Storm is they have Davon Smith back today, and he's been the one who's changed the game for them.
He really has, and I think he gives Ashworth a little bit more trouble defensively. Wiltshire's a terrific defender with his length and his athleticism, but the speed that Smith has really is affecting, I think, what Ashworth can do.
Here is Ashworth. 9.6 assists thus far. With 10, it's Green. The sophomore, he's short.
What St. John's does a lot, they make you uncomfortable. You're in a position, usually Green is a catch-and-shoot 3.
Lewis with a Euro. Ejiofor there on the offensive glass, and a foul.
That's a nice job by Ejiofor. This is a game that St. John's has to send 5 to the glass. Guys can't stand out on the perimeter and watch as their teammates rebound. That's what will help you win a game like this. And then I think that's why they're winning that rebound edge by a couple right now, because they've really dominated that class. 11 offensive rebounds.
Well, and the biggest strength of this team that's been a storyline in Rick Pitino's second year at St. John's, like year 2 Pitino teams have done, it's also been the second half.
Yeah.
They're in the top 10 in the country in terms of second half efficiency.
Yeah, they make adjustments. You know, the message is sent, and they follow through on it.
Oh, to be a fly on that halftime speeches. Although you've heard a few in your day.
A couple
that weren't quiet.
I felt a few, yes. Not just heard.
Somewhere he's grinning.
Yeah.
8 on the shot clock. With 6, it's Neal. Aaron Scott said no, but he was out of bounds. Shot clock's at 4.
Great effort there by Scott, though. The length. I mean, just look how long he is. And yes, Neal, a terrific scorer. Scott just doing a nice job. Fans don't like it, but he was out of bounds when he touched the ball last. It wasn't a foul, it was he was out of bounds.
Johnny, it seems small, but by Lewis just deflecting the inbounds pass, the shot clock moved a second. It's at 3 now. Upstairs to Kalkbrenner. Ryan Kalkbrenner with the 300th dunk of his college career.
You just have to know, you got to know the scouting report. Short clock, out of bounds under, the curls coming from Kalkbrenner.
Richmond tries. McAndrew, he rings it up, the freshman.
It's fearless, it really is, and you need that from a shooter with his length and his size. You can't just be out there taking up space. Got to be a threat.
Our 7th lead change. We've had 4 ties. First place in the Big East hangs in the balance. Lewis was fouled by McAndrew.
So you have to know what's coming. Take a look at Kalkbrenner. He's at the elbow there. And he's going to come in, just dive down, and then curl back. Ejiofor almost has to say, you know what? If he's running towards the ball, I'll let him have that. But jam up the middle, because you know the lob's coming over the top, especially with 3 seconds on that shot clock.
Back to R.J. Lewis at the free throw line. On the first, St. John's, this has been an issue at times this year, just 4 of 9 from the stripe today.
Yeah, shooting in general. I mean, yes, 3-point shooting is going to help you advance in the tournament, but missing free throws, John, you know this as well as I do, will get you a quick exit.
Well, in this league, and particularly in these games, 2 of the last 3 meetings between Creighton and St. John's have been decided by a point.
Not only that, think of St. John's losses. By a total of what, 7 points?
7 points, fewest in America. Kalkbrenner and 1. The greatness of Kalk on display at MSG.
I think people fall asleep on Ryan Kalkbrenner when he's not in a pick and roll situation. And they think, oh, he's got to get a pass, he's got to get a lob, he's just a shot blocker. But he's still a very large human. And you have to try to fight your way to stay in front of him. Not only that, he's been around. He knows how to play the game.
Think about this. High major players to average at least 17, 8, and 3 blocks per game. Yeah. Ryan Kalkbrenner and Auburn's Janai Broom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Woo. How about that?
How about Broom yesterday? Saw Auburn 1 in Tuscaloosa.
Man. The thing that stinks about that is you won't be able to see him much longer at this level.
8-1 scoring run for Creighton to get some control back. Richmond attacking and hitting.
It's a nice job. You know he's not going to pull out from 3 there, but he sells it with the hard show and then the explosion to get downhill.
trying to get it right back to the big man. With 10, Ashworth got a step. Stephen Ashworth, he's automatic.
Man, that's a layup right there for Ashworth, a wide open 15-footer. Davon Smith he guessed the wrong way.
11 for Ashworth. Also allows the pace of the game to settle. Smith, he's off. Kalkbrenner's there for the rebound. Neal surveying with 12. It's Ashworth with 10. A skip pass back to Neal. Down to 5. And Neal just lost it. 10th Creighton turnover. This gets the pace a little bit up, and Richmond cashes in.
You got to stop the ball when it's in number one's hand. Have to be able to get in front of Kadari Richmond and stop the ball, and you'll pay.
Back and forth we go. Here is Neal. He will shoot for second out of it.
Woo! We talked about their defense earlier. The help has been wonderful in the second half for St. John's, and Iwuchukwu beats that one up. They're still looking for that ball in Times Square. We'll let you know if they found it when we come back.
This is Pato Award. His last name's Irish, but his first words were... Pato's the fastest 25-year-old on 4 wheels. He looks like a one-man boy band. He charms like a British spy, and he doesn't have fans. He's got groupies. This is the next face of IndyCar. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Inside every dog is a struggle between good.
That food frisbee the neighbors ordered looks really good.
And fun.
Forget that. Let's sink our teeth into the fun that's walking this way.
Fun? We can't always have fun.
Not with that attitude.
Wait.
But there doesn't have to be.
Is that
good and fun?
So good.
Fun, fun, fun.
Let your dog indulge both sides with the delicious, long-lasting chew sessions of good and fun treats for dogs. Let dogs dog.
For a limited time at Domino's, get the Dream Pizza Deal. Any pizza you want for just $9.99 online. Because any pizza with any crust and any toppings means you can order the pizza you've been dreaming of. All for the dream price of $9.99. The Dream Pizza Deal at Domino's.
So we doing this?
If we do, there goes moving to Paris.
We were never moving to Paris. We got this.
Let's buy a house.
Order a croissant. You'll feel French.
Un croissant, s'il vous plaît.
With steady wings, Blue Jays fly. With bright minds and curious hearts, they discover their path and soar to new heights. They uncover new research and explore new horizons. At Creighton University, Blue Jays find their perch side by side and take flight, ready to lead the world around them.
It's Fox College Hoops Friday, and Big Ten rivals collide in a push for the top spot in the conference. As Michigan State, Big Ten, battles Michigan. Fox College Hoops Friday tips off at 8 Eastern.
Big East College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. What a feeling this is. How about the kid from downtown? That's how you come to MSG.
Oh, look at that.
He dreams of maybe playing his games in college here. Maybe he could be playing for Rick Pitino. And if you're playing for Rick Pitino, Donnie, it means second-year success because from ECAC North, regular season champs, NIT berth at Boston, to a Final Four with Billy the Kid and company at Providence. Getting to Kentucky, leading them atop the FCC in his second year, 91 at Louisville. They made the NCAA tournament. He got them turned around. He won a national title. At Iona, it rolled on in New Rochelle. And now at St. John's, the best start through 25 games since 1985-86. How do you explain this?
I mean, we know he's the winningest active coach in Division I. Think about that. He's led his teams to 28 postseason appearances. That's amazing. 7 trips to the Final Four. So what you see happening now is probably no surprise to a lot of people. He went over to Greece, took a team that was really struggling maybe with relegation, moves them up to 2nd place. I mean, he just does it wherever he goes. Phenomenal.
Tony Chiazza with a whistle there. It's going to stay with Creighton.
Well, if Lewis was out of bounds, I think Ashworth is saying that's a technical foul. I don't think they're going to go there. I think they're going to reset that shot clock.
So the shot clock's going to get reset to 14. They went to go ahead and 20, but obviously
just got to give him some space.
He does. They're in trouble here, and they get it to Kalkbrenner. Ashworth. That was perfectly run.
The composure that Stephen Ashworth plays with is something that if you can show your players to try to learn, it's invaluable. This stage, this time of the game, like
Lewis out of control. Creighton has retaken control.
Right now, St. John's needs to ramp up their pressure a little bit. You need to get a stop because now that'll allow you to get out in transition. You can't keep catching the ball out of the net. Can't get any flow that way.
Here's Kalkbrenner on an island. Ejiofor's on the bench, so it's Iwuchukwu. A blocking foul. The shot will not count.
Yeah, the timing of the bump and the fall was just a little off for Iwuchukwu. You got to time this a little better. There's one bump. I think they let the bigs bump and grind a little bit more downstairs than they do on the perimeter. So if you're Iwuchukwu, though, we talked about this earlier, let Kalkbrenner try to back you down. He's more of a threat on those pick and roll lobs than he is back to the basket, you know, some 4 or 5 feet off the block. Not saying he can't score from there. You got to stand him up a little bit.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's never fouled out in a game in his career.
That's amazing. That really is an amazing stat.
Fans are chanting for a 5-second violation.
Defense.
Scott has just been draped on Neal. Neal attacks anyways. Scott's there. Same team, says Ejiofor with the rebound. Richmond, elbow. Yes, sir.
Right now, Kadari Richmond should go over to Aaron Scott and say, I see you, big fella. He created that mid-range jumper. You got to get stops.
Ashworth is off. Foul going the other way. It's on Kalkbrenner. His second.
Well, we just talked about it, Johnny. You have to get stops to get yourself going on the offensive end, and look what Aaron Scott does. Jemiah Neal, a little pity pat, stays in front. It's a little bit of an edge, but now he's in a hurry, and Zuby Ejiofor steps up. Pays it off, and they come down and knock down a jump shot. And here we go. A little momentum to the Johnnies right now.
R.J. Lewis is way off. Tipped into the hands of Kalkbrenner. Trout on the catch. Scott shut him down.
Aaron Scott with that length.
Smith. Ejiofor. The Garden coming alive again. Battle for first in the Big East. 4 weeks to Selection Sunday. You can feel it in here. Neal lost the handle on it. Only turned it over one time in the second half. Ashworth. This building, a basket here will burst. And we've got a foul on the floor. What'd you say again, partner? Defense into...
Offense into defense into offense. I just think guys being around, Scott's length right there. That's twice we've seen them now get a stop, starting with Aaron Scott, and then finishing on the other end.
Creighton has not scored in 2.5 minutes. Into Wilcher.
And really, it's only their 4th turnover of the game. But when you have momentum, it's not necessarily the amount of your turnovers, it's when they happen. And that was a tough one because you had that momentum, you were trending the right way, the crowd was getting into it, and now everything kind of slows down, settles down, and probably to really, for Creighton, it's an advantage right now.
We've seen this before. Greg McDermott before the media timeout, so we've got an under 12 coming shortly. He'll try to give Ryan Kalkbrenner, Stephen Ashworth a brief rest.
Chess match. That is some playing chess over there. Greg McDermott, one of the best in America at doing that, protecting his guys, knowing what the time is and the score.
These two coaches are tied for 6th in Big East history in all-time conference wins. Trout was off.
Great contest by Ejiofor, though. Ran out without fouling.
And we got a foul on King that's going to take us to a timeout. A first-place showdown in the Big East. And yes, thus far, it has lived up to the hype.
One sandwich that says, "This guy appreciates wild-caught Alaskan fish." And a second that says, "This guy would like another sandwich." 2 for $6.99. Arby's, we have the meats.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean starts with Oral-B.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
Coño, cabina, que no
Find grilled chicken breast strips in the freezer aisle.
Tyson.
You know, sometimes you need to get away from it all. Maybe even call a timeout. Okay, back to the game.
Yellowstone to Yosemite with Kevin Costner, streaming now on Fox Nation.
Introducing Mando whole body deodorant. Mando's different. It's tough enough to control body odor in all your toughest smelling places. How does Mando work? Rather than covering up odor with heavy fragrances, Mando stops odor before it starts. Our formula is powered by an acidified technology and pH optimized. It works by blocking bacteria from digesting fluids on your skin like sweat anywhere on your body. Order Mando whole body deodorant today and control your body odor better everywhere.
For the best deals, go to shopmando.com.
When you can't take your bed to the store, there's Instacart.
Luxury meets performance. Peter Millar.
The fastest racing on earth is coming to Fox. The 2025 IndyCar season gets underway in St. Petersburg. The first stop on the road to the Indy 500, March 2nd, live on Fox. Well, these two coaches of St. John's and Creighton, Rick Pitino and Greg McDermott, this is Pitino's 12th year as a Big East coach between Providence and Louisville here. Greg McDermott in his 12 years as a Big East coach, and look at this, they're tied for 6th all time. Incredible. The Jays up by 1. We're seeing Greg McDermott's coaching.
Yeah, you don't realize how important out of bounds plays are until you can't get it in. You know, you don't appreciate them until you can start seeing progress at the end of them. And look, all of these have led to baskets and in different ways. So it's just one of those, I think, undervalued parts of the game, you just assume we can get the ball in bounds. Look, and we saw the struggles that UConn had against Seton Hall last night. You take it for granted at times how difficult it can be to get the ball in bounds, and not only that, to pay it off with a bucket.
This is where Rick Pitino assistant Bob Walsh has been very successful.
Yes. I mean, this out-of-bounds unders are really, to me, they're just special plays. They're game changers.
Couldn't get it to Ejiofor, so it is Lewis.
Pretty good defense there.
Lewis playing some bully ball. We're going to get a foul on the floor on Trout.
That's a tough matchup for a lot of people, but for Isaac Trout to have to stay in front of one of the best athletes in the conference, and R.J. Lewis, it's a big ask.
Third foul for Trout. Creighton at 13 fouls. They only average 10 a game. Ejiofor.
That's that same play that he almost traveled again, but made that one work.
Our 8th lead change. 4 times. Battle for first place in the Big East.
It's a big spot in the game for both teams with no Kalkbrenner in the game. You don't have that pick and roll confidence. Defensively, you got to go to the rim, or offensively, you got to go to the rim, just like that.
Richmond off, but he tapped it out to Wilcher. Kalkbrenner just got up to go to the table.
Got to attack.
Lewis to Ejiofor. That was pretty. Johnny's run, 19,812 are into it. Trout. Rejected. Wilcher and Richmond. Here's King. With 10. Jemiah Neal has to create. Zugic, the freshman, with 3. Zugic was stripped, he lost it.
The guard Richmond, great hands there.
Lewis, touch contact, and a blocking foul on Ashworth.
Yeah, Ashworth he didn't take it square enough. I think if he could have moved in and taken it square, he would have gotten it, and you can see that Lewis was actually going kind of towards the corner to get away from this. Good idea. Not square enough.
74% free throw shooter is Lewis, and Donnie, you can feel it in here with this building right now. We were talking about it pregame. They've had UConn in here. They're sold out next Sunday. That game on Fox at noon. They've had Duke in here. Yes, it's been full, but it's been full of a lot of people that are wearing either Duke blue or UConn blue too. This is a true St. John
Sea of red in here. You're right, John. A lot of pride in this building.
And that's a foul on Wilcher. That's the 4th on Wilcher. And St. John's has 5 as a team. Smith will come back in. Wilcher scoreless on the day, not his day, but Smith, who missed Wednesday at Villanova with a neck injury, back in today.
Big possession here for Creighton. They're 0 of their last 7, down 3. You can feel a little momentum going the other way. They need a bucket.
The Jays haven't scored in 4.5 minutes. McAndrew with 10. Ashworth is the man who steers this ship. It's to Kalkbrenner with 5. He's got a mismatch. Ryan Kalkbrenner, Richmond, got it off Kalkbrenner's leg. And that's why he's on the Naismith top 15 defensive player.
You took the words right out of my mouth. 2 awesome steals, knockaways from Kadari Richmond. Again, you get Ryan Kalkbrenner in a back-down situation, you can manage it better. And St. John's has than the pick and roll.
Richmond backdoor to Lewis. Rebound to Kalkbrenner, but can Creighton snap out of this drought? Neal, extra pass, Zugic. Neal tries. We got a tangle up underneath. It's going to go on St. John's. On Lewis. And now Kalkbrenner is holding his right foot. He is in pain, and that is not good. for Creighton. We will review this, and now you just hope. You hope that Ryan Kalkbrenner, one of the best big men in America, is okay, because that would be just brutal. Ben McNair, the trainer, is out to see Kalkbrenner.
It's tough because you don't see a turn. You just see that foot coming down naturally, and then where he grabs it just really gives you pause and concern. Hate seeing that.
And 2,236 career points. Earlier today, he passed Ralph Sampson and Baylor Shireman in all-time scoring. He is the soul of this Creighton program. The officials rule it's just a common foul on Lewis, but this is a really tough scene to watch right now. Gingerly heading back towards the locker room. Donnie, we just hope, we really hope that Ryan Kalkbrenner will be all right, the fifth-year senior, one of the best in the land.
And these are tough times of the game, very emotional, because you understand how important Kalkbrenner is to his team. Where do they go from here? The next 9:45, huge question.
Ashworth with a heave to Zugic, some contact, and Creighton now has to try to find a path without an All-Big East first-team star. Ashworth strips, it stays with Creighton with 7.
Zugic hit that ball in the backcourt and then went and grabbed it. That's. Take a look at that.
Unreal. Second in points to one Doug McDermott, the greatest to ever wear the uniform. 5 on the shot clock. King, Fred King, who's now inserted into action, got his own miss, couldn't stick it back. Creighton hasn't scored in close to 6 minutes. Richmond, the left-handed finish. 10-0 run.
And this is when Stephen Ashworth is going to have to put on that cape and be a superhero for Creighton right now.
Nick Andrew with an air ball. It'll stay with Creighton.
And this is how powerful he is, getting downhill 6'6", finishing with the offhand. And I would expect a steady diet this last 9 minutes of getting in the paint for St. John's.
Ibinayo comes out, Lewis, and that ball did just graze the rim. So the shot clock is reset to 20. And that's a travel for Zugic. Things have come undone for Creighton. Stuck in a 6-minute scoring drought. This one's offensive. It's on Richmond. So heading the other way. But Donnie, you still have a ton of time on that clock with 8:49 to go. Kalkbrenner does so much for Creighton. We just exited this game a few moments ago. If you're just joining us with a foot injury, how do they try to figure out a path in this game?
It's going to have to be quicker. The ball's going to have to pop, show up. Look, he wasn't running a lot of pick and rolls. St. John's put a stop to that early. But what his impact was defensively, I think, is where they're going to see it. I think they can get points. Defensively, what are they going to do? I think that's the big question.
Haven't scored in over 6 minutes. Ashworth, he was getting held by Ejiofor. And St. John's is over the limit. So Ashworth, this is much needed for Creighton. They'll head to the line for 1-1. Ejiofor second. Talking about a man in Ashworth who has missed just 4 times all year. But one came earlier today, 97% at the free throw line. Are you kidding me? He entered this game having missed 3 free throws the entire season. He has missed 2 today. That is stunning.
It is, especially when you understand how important in a game like this to score with the clock stopped and you're down.
They have a shot clock issue at the Garden.
Well, this is where I'd like to see, you know, look, they're waiting 20 seconds and you get to your timeout. But this is where you want to see Creighton kind of come together. Ashworth telling guys, slapping 5, we're going to be all right. Hit guys on the back. Let's get this thing going. But right now, there's a shockwave has been sent through Creighton's team, and for obvious reasons. But you got to get this thing tightened up. Communication has to be the priority on defense right now.
Handoff to Lewis. Lewis is off. You're right, Creighton has had to do this before. A couple years back, they were at UConn. They lost Kalkbrenner in the game. They rallied to a win. Ashworth knocks it down.
Man one there, got hit on the body. Surprised no call for Ashworth. Well, that's a big bucket for him and Creighton.
Richmond can't answer. Scott battling. He was stuffed by Green. They've got numbers. It's Jemiah Neal. Neal! Skies to the rim. Creighton has some life.
How about that athleticism? Man, oh man, he is a high flyer, Jemiah Neal. An emotional game. We know that. It got even more emotional with Kalkbrenner going down. But the look ahead, the easy basket. Tell you what, folks, 7:32, don't go anywhere. We got not a good one, but a great one.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Why blend in when standing out is oh so much more fun? The GV70 by Genesis.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie, use your new door. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm gonna trade you for a cat.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Let's go, dogs. I'm a dancing tongue, and I like to taste it cold. Have you ever seen a tongue do this? Help me make love. Give me cold. Everybody now. Give me cold.
5% cash back on whatever category I choose every single month, and even more when I shop online. Yes, Cindy, I got extra lettuce. And yes, Jasper, you're gonna have to carry it.
Things have been real weird ever since you two hooked up.
Don't just pay, PayPal.
Welcome back St. John's 58, Creighton 57. Tell you what, this has been a game that Stephen Ashworth has worked for every inch, and he's had to earn everything he's gotten, and right now he's going to have to earn even more. Thought he got bumped there. I'm sure he also did as well, but look at the eyes, John. They look up immediately, gets the ball, sign of a great point guard, throw it up, let Jemiah Neal float into a bucket there, but they're going to need more of Stephen Ashworth, and not only that, they're going to need to find confidence from McAndrew. Jason Green gives you that. King and more Jemiah Neal. They need it down the stretch because, you know, St. John's, they smell the blood in the water, and that blood in the water is no Ryan Kalkbrenner for Creighton.
Kalkbrenner going down a few moments ago with a foot injury, but Creighton has scored 4 straight to cut it back to 1. The winner of this game takes over first place in the Big East. That's a foul on Frederick King. Zuby Ejiofor will head to the line after this timeout. Things picking up at Madison Square Garden. A 1-point game.
Shot to get dirty. Get dirty. Shot to get dirty.
Right now, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2024 all-electric Jeep Wagoneer S Launch Edition for $468 a month.
From starting strong to it's been a week. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
Own a design studio. Win a really big design contract. Realize you're more of a creative type than a finance type. Realize you got this. Use QuickBooks to get your cash flow flowing. Get live expert assistance to maximize your tax savings.
I can help with that.
Get back to doing what you love. Manage and grow your business all in one place. Intuit QuickBooks, your way to money.
Get in on buy 1 foot-long, get 1 free right now in the Subway app. That's right, buy 1 foot-long sub, get another free. Deals this good usually come with a 2-year contract. Grab the deal online or in-app with code FLBOGO, only for a limited time.
Patients who have sensitive teeth but also want whiter teeth, they have to make a choice, one versus the other. Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth as well as providing 24/7 sensitivity protection. Patients are going to love to see Sensodyne on the shelf.
Different dogs have different needs, like skin and coat, mobility support, and healthy digestion. That's why Ein's Advanced Health has different formulas, so every dog can be a healthy dog.
Just over 2 minutes ago, Ryan Kalkbrenner, the 5th-year senior, 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, he comes down and hurts his right foot and immediately was holding it. Kalkbrenner taken back by 2 teammates through the tunnel. Creighton has found a way to get this to 1 after what was just such a, it shook this arena. One of the best in the Big East, one of the best in the country. Let's get to our game summary now. Donnie, you talked about points in the paint in this game. The turnovers, though, that is the key inflection point.
Yeah, and only 5 for St. John's. Every possession this time of year, I know coaches say all year long, but as you get closer to March, every possession, especially for a St. John's team, when you think about it, in their losses by a grand total of 7 points, every possession is so important. So to take care of that ball is one thing, but for Creighton on the road, they don't really turn the ball over. They have actually, they've met their daily allowance of turnovers by about a half. So they need to now take care of the ball. Everything, their margins are now thinner without Kalkbrenner. You know, things have to, I don't know if you have to play a perfect game, but it has to be pretty close to that.
He has not come out from the locker room. Ejiofor, 68% free throw shooter, 1 of 2 on this trip. 2-point game and 7 and change left. Neal, Green, Ashworth, King. And a turnover here. McAndrew for Creighton. Here's Smith to Ejiofor. Off to Lewis.
You don't need that pass if you're Jemiah Neal. You're never going to make that pass, threading the needle to King when he's posting up facing the sideline. If he's directly underneath the basket, fine. But again, you can't afford that at this stage of the game.
Ashworth. That's typically his spot. Jason Green sticks it back.
How about Jason Green? Just, again, they don't run anything for him. He's an opportunist, hard-working kid. Awesome to see him. See him have success.
Richmond, wow, out of control. Offensive rebound by Lewis. He couldn't stick it either. Ball pops out to Ejiofor. He lost it to Neal. And now Ashworth. Steven Ashworth gets it back. Ashworth is short. And now it's open floor. Aaron Scott is short. Ejiofor with the rebound. This has been a total scramble. And now Smith will try to settle it back down. Smith goes over his head. Aaron Scott tries again.
So much focus on Richmond and Lewis and Ejiofor. Aaron Scott has really been a huge lift for them on both ends of the floor in this game. Only 6 points, but what a great time to knock down a three.
5 on the shot clock. Neal off the dribble. He's off. Offensive rebound to Ashworth, who tries. He is short, and Scott with the board. Creighton just 6 of 25 from 3. St. John's, they've matched them in the made threes department. Not the case in the first meeting where they only made 2 on New Year's Eve. With 7, it's Lewis. R.J. Lewis, Euro, pretty. Timeout, Creighton. Garden rises to its feet.
Well, Aaron Scott, again, I think he really set the tone for St. John's defensively late in the first half. And you have to be able to reward a guy like that. And you talked about it, knocked down a lot of threes in the last game. And then he's the one player that you just say, you know what, let's get out of his way and let it be an acrobat. Because a lot of R.J. Lewis's moves are acrobatic.
And a couple weeks back, R.J. Lewis said, I want to be a part of the first St. John's team to win a Big East regular season title since Lou Carnesecca's final year, 1992. The Johnnies with a win. They get a 2-game cushion in this race. We'll get to 13-2. They haven't won 13 conference games since 99. Creighton with a win. Well, both teams would be at 12-3, but the kicker is the Blue Jays would have the season sweep over the Red Storm. So what's at stake? So much. A pivotal point in this race, because after today, you've got just 5 games left in conference play. If you're the Johnnies, and the Blue Jays will be here in 3.5 weeks for the Big East tournament. So now how does Creighton try to punch?
Got to be efficient. Last 4:30. Not a lot of movement happening right now. Be clean with your screens.
Ashworth kicking Neal. They had to have it and got it.
Jemiah Neal, you got to lean on your athletes. Kind of a different game. They haven't played a lot, but I don't know if it's quite Willis Reed. The tunnels have changed. But seeing Ryan Kalkbrenner at the scores table right now feels a little bit like that, I'm sure, for Creighton.
My goodness gracious. Mr. Kalkbrenner is at the table. That falls on Aaron Scott, and Creighton's in the bonus. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he is pulling, well, someone with Creighton ties here at the Garden. We will talk to you about it after this.
The game's biggest star looks to shine on basketball's biggest stage. As freshman phenom and player of the year favorite, Cooper Flagg leads third-ranked Duke.
This guy's worth the hype.
One-punch man. While the Fighting Illini look to shock the nation. Big-time ball. Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox Primetime Hoops.
New to the big city?
Yeah.
I'm Mara.
Hi. Apparently Progressive lets homeowners and renters bundle with their auto policy. 24/7 protection for all of my things.
Hey, I love that you protect all my stuff, but could you tone down the creepiness?
Sorry. I'd do anything for you, Emily.
Still creepy.
Right.
Where's that game we always play?
I don't know, but with Ring I can find it.
Board game.
Oh, man.
If I may, search raccoons.
There's a lot of results. Oh, look, the masquerade party.
What a party. Girl, you have a raccoon problem.
With Ring, you can type it and find it.
Any questions?
How did you become the Capital One Bank guy?
I've always been passionate about no fees or minimums on checking accounts.
Aren't you in the Hall of Fame?
And didn't you live in space? What's in your wallet?
Maryland ranked 25th in the nation. A big reason why is this young fella, Derek Queen, coming off a career high last time out. Terps winners of 6-7, hosting Iowa next on FS1. But y'all got plenty of drama left at the Garden, John and Donnie.
We do, Mike Hill, and to add to the drama, considered as arguably the wildest, greatest moment in this building's history, 1970 NBA Finals, Game 7, Willis Reed limped out of the tunnel. He made the Knicks' first 2 baskets. He didn't score again, but the tone was set. He was named Finals MVP. Willis Reed later served as head coach at Creighton from 81 to 85. He won 52 games. And now with number 19 in the rafters and the sea of red, a lot of them are Knick fans, but it's actually a Creighton superstar, one of the best players in America, who is pulling a former Creighton coach's act here. Ryan Kalkbrenner is going Willis Reed.
Well, the game has changed. The tunnel has been moved versus the one that Willis Reed walked out of. But this is, nevertheless, inspiring for Creighton, and you're only down 4.
Exactly. King off, battle for it. It's Richmond. He got fouled right away, and he's going ahead of the line.
That's okay. Quicker to get Kalkbrenner back in the game. You save an easy layup, and now you make Kadar Richmond earn it at the foul line.
A 52% free throw shooter.
So not a bad foul.
By the way, we'll have double bonus from here. Each team with 2 timeouts. The possession arrow is with Creighton, and now, as we just said, Richmond 52% the line. Kalkbrenner about 8 minutes ago. He goes out holding his right foot. We both just talked during the break. You saw that happen, and you were thinking, oh man. I mean, there was a shock in this building.
Yeah, and they weren't quite, Creighton wasn't quite circling the drain, but it didn't feel great. And in that time he missed, it was 9 Creighton, 10 St. John. So they didn't lose a lot without him. So kudos to the guys. Fred King stepped in, and guys keeping this game within reach.
What are you looking for here?
I'm looking to see how Kalkbrenner feels. We haven't really seen a lot of pick and rolls from he and Stephen Ashworth. I think you got to get him involved immediately.
First place is on the line in the Big East. Ashworth. It's off Lewis's hands, and Creighton will get a second opportunity. Well, this has been the issue for Creighton, Donnie. 7 of 27 from beyond the arc, 26%. In search of an answer. Into Kalkbrenner. Ryan Kalkbrenner cannot connect. Ejiofor got the stop. You can feel the anticipation in this building. It was leading into this game, a sellout crowd at the Garden. They're dreaming big in New York with 10 on the shot clock. Richmond, Brooklyn's own. To Smith, Davon Smith. He got fouled by Green.
We illustrated this earlier, how powerful their offense is when Kalkbrenner and Ashworth are in that pick and roll. They're a different offense when Kalkbrenner is a back-to-the-basket guy, and whether that's a matchup, whether it's just not being comfortable, St. John's has done a nice job when he catches that ball in low post, and I'm sure there are a lot of teams taking notes on that. They're just so hard to stop in that pick and roll situation with the drop coverages, guys getting caught in no man's land, the big not knowing how to stop the ball. We saw that earlier in the game. Sometimes maybe just allow them to throw it downstairs if you can push them off the block. It's been successful today.
Smith, just a 65% free throw shooter, misses both.
Yeah.
Lewis was out of bounds. It's back to Creighton. 2 big misses to keep this at 2 possessions. Look at those free throw numbers. 8 of 17, Donnie.
It's an equalizer. It's an equalizer for the opponent. Not being able to knock down free throws, not being able to consistently make threes.
Lukic to Neal with Ashworth, Kalkbrenner, and Trout. Big collision. Nothing there. Ashworth, this time he drives, and a foul on Smith.
Tell you what, the one thing you're not going to do is bully Stephen Ashworth. He is a tough player. I don't know. Look, maybe the refs have told him we're going to let you bump and grind a little bit out there, but Smith bails him out with the reach in. You stand up with your hands straight up. Maybe you're going the other way, but Stephen Ashworth is tough.
He is. He's missed 2 free throws. He entered the game 94 of 97 on the season, leading the country. Now at 96 of 101, and now trying to make this a 4-point game.
I'm still taking him over anybody else in the entire building to go to the foul line. Count up all these people in here, I'm taking him. I don't care if he's 0 for 10. I'm putting him on the line for the 11th one over anybody in this building.
Right move, Coach Marshall. Here's Scott. Got open Aaron Scott. It's an air ball. And Creighton can cut this down to 1 possession as that was affected by Kalkbrenner. Neal kicks. Corner 3, it's Ashworth. He's off. Richmond with the board.
It's a different shot sometimes when you're used to shooting deep NBA threes from the top as it is from those corners or in between the wing and corner. And he's missed a couple from there. They've given them to him.
Timeout St. John's. They have 1 left. Creighton with 2, both in the double bonus. Possession arrow with Creighton. What does this game mean? First place hangs in the balance. Creighton took the first meeting between these 2 teams by a point. 57-56 back on New Year's Eve. But St. John's has surged since, and now a critical closing stretch. This, in the past, has been Cook's time.
Yeah, I mean, late clock, he loves to get to that right hand, and even when you try to cut that right hand off, he's just so big and strong. Wide shoulders, and then on the other end, He's not exerting a ton of energy in terms of his lateral movement, but you put that ball out, he's going to go get it, and he's gotten two of those pokeaways. Just such a crafty player.
Well, a 4-point game, 2 and change to go. And this is where, as St. John's calls a timeout, Donnie, you said a game like this is how it can get decided. What do you draw up in these sequences?
So you know who's going to get it. We just talked about it. Let him make a decision with it.
Richmond, long, got his own miss, couldn't stick it back. Lewis, fighting, stripped and a foul came in.
Man, you allow 2 and 3 offensive rebounds. It can't happen a lot of times, and this is natural. Jason Green watches Kadar Richmond shoot it, and then kind of just turns towards the basket. That's when you have to, he shoots it, now you put a body, you just have to get in front, but it's such a bang-bang play. It's hard to find the body of the shooter when he's shooting a 5-footer.
74% free throw shooter, 5 of 8 on the day. Game reset, both teams in the double bonus. St. John's with a timeout. Creighton has 2. The possession arrow on a jump ball is with the Jays. Six-point game.
Well, it doesn't have to be a knockout punch here with the 3 for Creighton. You don't need a home run. Just get something and get something quick in that clock.
Scott got in there with his hand. It will stay with Creighton with 15. Scott is giving that signal for a review. We are inside 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like when the players can decide that you look at it. I think this has to come from Coach Patino to say we'd like to look at it, because every player does that. And they may be right. They may be right.
He's right.
Looks like it might have hit Trout's toe right there after it's off of Scott's hand. Take a look as we let it go.
The following play is under review.
Yeah, that looks like it's off Isaac Trout's right foot. But a lot of players do that spin in the air. I don't think you automatically need to look at a player and say, okay, we'll look at it. If you did that, the games wouldn't end.
Well, in this case, Scott's case looks at our first glances to be correct. Brian O'Connell, Tony Chiazza, Tony Henderson, our officials.
It's just a tough pass. And I think you got to go back to Ashworth throwing a really difficult pass to Isaac Trout, a guy who's not used to catching the ball at that position on the floor. And now you make a guy 6'8", 6'9", have to reach down at his toe, literally at his toe, and try to pick that ball up.
Don't see the rotation change again when it goes by Aaron Scott. So the call on the floor was that it was staying with Creighton. But it looks as though from our looks at it that this is going to be St. John's ball. And this is a big call because you're talking about a 6-point game where Creighton really needed a bucket on that trip.
I think the refs, obviously, an opportunity to look at this and get it right.
Well, that'll bring Tony Henderson over to the table. And they would like a look from one of our monitors here. So we're telling you folks in real time, they're coming to our table. They're paying Donnie Marshall a visit. They're going to take a look here. Just making sure. See the fingertip there.
I mean, you're also looking probably at Aaron Scott's left toe to see if that ball changes any type of rotation.
Tony Henderson's telling our crew, and we'll give the message to our crew to keep the shot because he wants the other officials to come take a look at the shot that we have.
And again, it's important to get it right. The thing that you think about, though, is
They're going to show it one more time here as they take another look.
It's important to get these right. So what they're trying to see, does it hit Aaron Scott's left foot after it hits Trout's right foot?
It's going to be St. John's basketball.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. Now, sometimes we get in these situations and we play 38 minutes of whatever you want to call it, but the last two have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's not, but 38 minutes, John, of their calls, and then the last two has to be perfect. I will say this, they got that right.
Yep. Nearly 4-minute review. Greg McDermott is all over Brian O'Connell, though.
Yeah.
McDermott is really fired up right now.
Yeah. They got it right, though. That's...
You can read the slips there.
Yeah.
Richmond. Aaron Scott. Richmond with the offensive rebound. A fresh 20. The time, the clock is on their side. Wiltshire to Scott. Dagger. Ashworth beats it home. And a timeout called by Greg McDermott. He has one left.
I think Ashworth has to get over to that bench right now. You made the three. You can't stare down the ref. I love his fire. But this at the other end was a wonderful job. Look at the spacing. There's no panic by St. John's. The unselfishness. 21 assists. And Ashworth wants a foul on the hand by Ejiofor after the shot. Plays with a lot of fire.
Let's send it back to Mike Hill in Los Angeles.
All right, fellas, Maryland, Iowa underway on FS2. It's 18-13. Maryland, Celton Miguel with 9 early points for the Terps. As soon as you're done at the Garden, we'll give you that Big Ten action right here on FS1.
Forward to that, Mike. Thank you. So 5-point game. That 3 keeps Creighton alive with 1:08 to go. Both teams are in the double bonus. Both teams have a timeout. The possession arrow, if Creighton were able to force a tie-up, it belongs with them. So with 1:08 to go, what's your thought process?
I know it wasn't a very popular play, at least when I played. But Hack-a-Johnny, which we used to know it as Hack-a-Shack, it could come into play. You see that the Johnnies are 10 of 19. I don't think it's out of the realm of implementing that at some point. Just throwing it out there. It may be the wrong time of the season to do that, but you got to understand the scouting report. You got to understand what St. John's has been unable to do from the foul line today.
Richmond up ahead to Scott.
I think Kalkbrenner was trying to foul Richmond.
He was.
And they didn't give it to him. This is when you have to go to the ref and say, we're going to foul. You got to let them know, just to be aware, just like you go, we're not going to foul, we're going to pressure, we're going to keep our hands high, but that's when you have to say, hey, we're going to foul as soon as we get a chance. And there it is, John. There's the Hack-a-Johnny.
And it sends a 68% free throw shooter to the line. Good call by you. 2 of 6 in this game. Ejiofor's really struggled. It is 2 free throws. Strategy works.
I used to play this game, John, a little bit. I used to run up and down with shorts on and shoot and jump and stuff. You're young, you know, before your time. I'm not getting lucky with what I'm telling you here. I'm just telling you, just saying.
Missing the first. Oh, it worked so well, but not so well because you have to box out. And that's one of the nation's best offensive rebounding teams you're going up against, and now Lewis is fouled.
And here's the thing. if you're going to implement that and you're going to foul, you're basically saying we know they're going to miss, or we think there's a high probability of St. John's missing. So what does that mean? Box out. That's the next part of it.
R.J. Lewis has a career-high 14 rebounds. And hits the first. 20 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists.
He's special. He really is. And there are times where you have to just, and Coach Pitino, I think, really does a nice job managing him and saying, look, I'm going to allow you to take some shots that most players can't take, but I believe that you're going to make more than this. And he does that. Did that today.
Gets it to a 3-possession game. Now Ashworth with time against them. It's Neal. Ashworth to Kalkbrenner. Hurrying. Slam it. Down to 5.
Got to foul him.
Sure do.
Let it get to him.
Letting some time tick down here. Lewis was still in the backcourt when he got it to Wilcher, and Wilcher is fouled by Kalkbrenner. That's Kalkbrenner's 4th.
One of the few pick and slips or pick and rolls we've seen in this game. Credit to St. John's for really putting the kibosh on that. It hasn't been popular for Creighton all game long. And then you're right, he was still in the backcourt. I know it didn't look right. Coach McDermott wanted him over and back, but that was legal.
Oh, Wilcher, an 81% free throw shooter, misses the first.
You can almost feel and see that no matter who goes to the foul line, it's almost feels like they're steering the ball and not actually shooting it. R.J. Lewis shot his, but that felt like a steer by Wilcher. He's too good of a shooter to steer the ball in.
Davon Smith comes back in for Wilcher. To your point, 13 of 25 from the free throw line for the Johnnies. But it's a 2-possession game. Creighton, they need it here. Ashworth. Edgefor nearly got him. Trout.
Oh, he's got to pass that one. Ed Zubic's wide open in the corner.
They find Neal. Jemiah Neal. Richmond with the board. Richmond is fouled, and they're on their feet at MSG.
Tell you what, John, it's not a fluke. This team is so well coached, St. John's. They're unselfish. We've seen some really good St. John's teams the last 12, 13 years. But this team has something that a lot of those teams didn't have. They have an awareness of their teammates around them. They have an unselfishness about them that they don't care where the credit comes from or who gets it. And obviously they have a Hall of Famer on the sidelines navigating and leading them in the right direction.
Richmond, Lewis, and Edgefor all with 18 apiece. As Ashworth is fouled by Smith, it's on the floor, so it'll be 2 shots. And for the St. John's Red Storm, they can taste it now. In this battle for first place, it was either you get swept by Creighton and find yourself in a tough spot. Still, another UConn battle, a trip to Marquette, or you find some cushion after the defeat at Villanova.
Tell you what, though, the teams behind them they're running out of time. And I know the Marquettes and the Connecticuts and the Xaviers and the Villanova, they know that. They're running out of time and running out of schedule to be able to catch the St. John's team that has turned into a juggernaut. And they're not only winning, but they are fun. They're fun to watch.
Take a look at the standings, not through today's game, with St. John's trying to seal it here with 13 seconds to go. It is Lewis. They're all over him with 9, and then the foul does come in. Well, with a defeat. Creighton will head to 11-4. Marquette is matched up in the loss column then with 4. Those two split their regular season series. The point, there's still a lot to be figured out on our road right back here for the Big East tournament in 3.5 weeks. St. John's is next at DePaul. Creighton, they will have a week, a much-needed week for them before they host Georgetown.
Yeah, this is a St. John's team that, when you look at their schedule, like you said, they're at DePaul, Connecticut here, at Butler. You know, you have a couple games in there, you can't fall asleep, but it's set up for them to have a nice finish. And look, they're 5-2 on the road, so they know how to go away from this building and away from Carnesecca and win games.
Lewis hits both. That game March 1st against Seton Hall. Moved from Carnesecca Arena to Madison Square Garden this week. Final seconds here.
They say defense travels.
Believe it, New York City. The Red Storm have risen to the top of the Big East behind Ricky P. The Johnnies at 22-4, their best record through 26 games since 1985-86. And Johnny's fever is alive and well in Manhattan because St. John's now has a 2-game cushion in this league. What a performance to find a way to win, and what a game. Does it for us. St. John's a 6-point win. Now let's send you to College Park for Iowa, number 25, Maryland.
Well, what a start to this game that we have had.